Previously, we have looked at three foundations of education: ideological, philosophical, and psychological. Today, we will begin to look at the fourth foundation of education, which is sociological, connected to society. Schools exist within society, not apart from society and not out of the social context. Because schools and other educational institutions survive in society, it is important to look at how society impacts what happens, should happen within schools and educational institutions. In addition to that, it is important to note other salient features that affect schools, educational institutions within society. What are those salient features? What in society affects what happens in schools is what we will see next. So schools in the middle, schools supposed to provide education, and what affects both schools and the kind of education that is provided within the schools. Both these factors play a vital role depending on the surrounding salient features of a given society or community where schools exist. Economics is one of them. Funding, money, somebody has to pay for it. And in return, what are the job prospects? What are the prospects for further growth, future development? And those things need to be considered if a school, with the kind of education that it provides, is seen as effective in society. Technology. Today, nothing is possible without technology. Technology has affected and impacted all spheres of life, and therefore, to consider education minus technology is not a wise thing to do. Technology is changing fast, so schools need to make a decision what kind of technology they will invest in, how often they will develop, change, modify, or adapt new technology, plus what kind of technological tools do they expect students to have in their classrooms, and what kind of technology do they propose to teach to their students. With the fast-paced change of technology, it is becoming evident that schools and therefore education will need to keep pace of the technological changes that are happening in today's world. The home, the family background, where you come from, plays an important role and will impact what happens in schools, classrooms, and in education. Do you come from a family where parents and siblings are educated? Do you come from a family where people read? Do you come from a family where people and family members interact with one another? All these provide important skills for students to use in their classrooms. This is an important factor to consider. The home environment will play a major role in classrooms, in schools, in education. Religion will play a major role. After all, most societies and cultures and communities revolve around a particular religion, a belief that they profess. And therefore, education will need to be part of that profession of belief and will have to be provided in line with the ideology of that particular religion. Politics will play a role. The government will play a role, and the government should play a role, because when the government plays a positive role, education will be promoted. Culture, traditions, factors that exist within the community are important to consider. You cannot consider education minus culture and traditions. A society, a community has its culture, and those cultural values and norms need to be transmitted to the next generation. With these factors and others also that will play a vital role in education, society needs to be looked at in terms of what it offers in line with education for its individuals.